anything from damage the whole operating system to the point where your computer does not load up Windows anymore. Now, a virus typically can't really, a virus can do anything but pretty much physically damage your hardware in the machine. So as bad as virus can get, the worst case scenario, what's going to happen is it'll damage the whole installation of Windows, and Windows will not load up anymore at all. So you're just going to get to the black screen that says Windows failed to load, or you may get something similar to that. That's as worst case scenario as it get. Other times it'll disable certain functions. Viruses sometimes won't let you go to your control panel. It'll say like control panel has been disabled, or your task manager, when you try taking that out, it'll say Windows Task Manager has been disabled by administrator. That's also another way of knowing that you may have something restricting you, which are usually viruses, as well as going to your computer or even internet access. Viruses can also cut off internet access. They can monitor you on the web. And this is going to sound a little bit scary, but if you have a webcam, they can actually, these are more advanced viruses. I've seen them out there before. They are out there. And if you have a webcam, the person that infected you can actually take control of your machine, move your mouse, watch you through your webcam, and you will never know. And it's a really scary thought that someone's out there possibly watching you with your webcam. It's a scary thought. A lot of people don't think it's possible, and I'm here to tell you it is possible to do. So you have to be very careful when you're on the internet. Don't open emails you don't know from strangers. Sometimes there are viruses that will take over someone's email and go through the whole contact book, send you an email, and you're like, oh, I got an email from an old friend. He sent me some pictures. And sometimes, you know, it's the virus that took control of his account and spammed it to his whole contacts book. And you're thinking, oh, I trust this guy, I know him. And guess what? You know, there's always that chance that you can't get that virus. It's never a good thing. Other ways to tell if your computer may have a virus, sometimes they come in the form of toolbars. Toolbars aren't always a virus, but however, they do contribute to your computer being slow. And it's never good if your computer looks like this. I'm going to show you guys a picture right here. And this is real realistic in terms of, I've seen this happen on so many people's computer. Every time you install a free program and such, sometimes toolbars will automatically start installing themselves. So this is Internet Explorer. And as you can see, you don't have much room here for you to be browsing. You have so many toolbars, and guess what all those toolbars are going to do for you? Sure, it's fine to have maybe one or two, you know, a couple. I'm personally not a fan of toolbars. However, when you have this many toolbars, it is going to slow down your computer dramatically. When you're on the internet surfing, you're wondering why it's slow. Sometimes it's not your computer that's slow, hardware-wise. It's the actual browser. You have so many toolbars dragging you down. This is never good to see on a browser. It's a little bit scary, but I've seen this on so many people's computers. Let me see here. And this is another one. See, similar to this, you have so many toolbars. And come on, it's not necessary. A lot of people don't know how to take these off. I'm going to show you really quick. Unfortunately, you can. And this is how they get installed on your computer. On this one here, we're installing Java, and you can see it has a little check mark by default that says Yahoo Toolbar for Firefox Mozilla. We're installing the Java setup, and it's coming with the Yahoo Toolbar. And sometimes people don't see this little box checked, and they just click next, 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 and that is how they start looking like this. So for the Internet Explorer, let me see if I can show you really quick how to disable toolbars. Alright. If you right click on here, it'll right click this little area here, this open spaces. This is a newer version of Internet Explorer, so it might be a little different on yours. You can see which bars I have open. As you can see, there was a Bing bar on here, and I disable it because I'm not a huge fan of toolbars. They do slow down your internet. You can take off your menu bar, favorites bar. Some people like having a lot of things on here, and you pretty much right click it and you can check and uncheck which toolbars that you want on there. Same way works with Mozilla Firefox. If we see this on here, same little thing. You right click here in this open space, you can take off the toolbars that you don't want. You can uncheck them accordingly. So sometimes toolbars are also viruses on there. they do come infected with viruses sometimes, depending what program you're downloading and what kind of toolbar they are offering. You're probably wondering, well, what can I do to reduce the chance of me getting infected with a virus? Well, number one is for you to have an antivirus. Personally, there's many great antiviruses out there. Some tech guys are going to tell you, hey, use this one, and while the other one's going to tell you, nope, this one is the best. And it's hard to say which one is the best, just because a lot of them are pretty competitive when it comes to features, chances of removing the virus if you ever get infected, and it all really comes down to preference. And I'm actually using Malwarebytes antivirus. It's actively running. I'm going to show you guys some pictures of some legitimate ones on here. You have on here Norton 360. They came out with version 5.0 now. We have Kaspersky, Bitdefender, Not32, and AVG. AVG is, if you don't have an antivirus, this is the one I would recommend. This is the best free one you can get. It is always actively running on your machine. However, if you can afford $20 to $30 extra to spend on a 1-year subscription of antivirus, I would do so buying a better name brand one. I mean, this is worst case scenario. If you don't have anything on your machine, at least install this one on here. But these are what they look like, and there's a lot of legitimate antiviruses as well. But I just wanted to give you guys a glimpse of what some of the most popular ones are out here, and it's never good to surf the internet without an antivirus. Some proactive things you can do to prevent viruses aside from having an antivirus is performing your Windows updates. So we're operating on Windows 7, so we have the little search engine here. So you have Windows Update. This has been on the computers since I can remember. So as long as you're connected to the internet, you do the Windows Update, and then it's going to search for any new updates for the system. And these updates fix any loopholes, glitches, vulnerabilities, exploits in your machine that hackers can use to take advantage of your machine to install viruses on here. It's always good to check for the updates, and then once it's found all the updates, you can install the updates. And it's always good to stay up to date, because people that don't stay up to date with their updates are always going to be vulnerable in an environment on the internet. It's just not safe at all, because there's always new things being discovered that need to be fixed. And if you're the guy that doesn't have those fixes, guess what? You're open to attack. So keeping up to date with your Windows updates is a good idea. And you're probably wondering, well, I have an antivirus, does that mean I won't get infected? No, probably not. But the steps of having an antivirus, when you have one, there are different things you can do. Now, this is the Malwarebytes, so yours is going to look a little bit different. However, I'm going to let you know that most of these functions should still be on there on your antivirus. They usually offer like a quick scan and then a full scan. They usually don't have the flash scan on the other antiviruses. This one they do. Difference is quick scan scans. It's a lot quicker. This one only takes about 10 to 15 minutes to scan. Do the quick scan. The full scan does take a little bit longer. Can take up to 30 minutes to up to 2 hours, depending how many files you have. But the quick scan is if you're just on the go. You just want to do a quick checkup. Full scan, I recommend doing a full virus scan at least once a week. That's my guideline. Like I said, everyone might tell you something different. There's people that scan once a month. That's fine. But I'm a pretty paranoid person because I know the types of dangers that are out there on the internet. And I perform a full scan at least once a week. I do perform a quick scan every day I'm on the machine, at least once a day. Good tip is to scan your machine for viruses before you're making any kind of purchase, entering any credit card information. You can never be too sure. And hey, if you can prevent something from that disastrous from happening, why not? Aside from performing your scans, scans are virtually useless if you don't keep up to date with your updates. And this is another emphasis I'm making. So last time I updated this, it is 8/8/2011. Which is a day ago. There are certain antivirus companies that update them once a week. They update every other day, and some update every single day. You're probably wondering what's the update and what's the database information. What is the updates for? In short terms, when you check for updates, you're making your antivirus smarter. So we're going to check for updates right now. It's probably going to be downloading them. They might take a little while, depending.